Classes resumed timidly today at the Nfor Government High School after yesterday's stampede that left over 100 students hospitalized. The follow-up of that story in this edition of the newscast. SOS, a mother and a set of triplets abandoned in a local... The father of the children is nowhere to be found. Those are the top... In this midweek edition of the primetime newscast on Equinox Television, broadcasting live from Douala, Cameroon. We'll begin straight away with the follow-up story in Yaoundé, where it was a timid atmosphere today at the government high school in Kwabang after yesterday's stampede that left over 100 students hospitalized and 5 parents who collapsed. Our Yaoundé-based reporter Roland Akong did a follow-up of that story. His report.
At the Nfor Government High School Wednesday, many students did not come to school after the stampede Tuesday. The absences are attributed to the incident where 100 of students sustained injuries. The incident remains the talk of Kwabang and its environ. However, few students were available for lectures in some classes like Form 4, lower and upper seat. Security forces have been deployed inside the school premises for security reasons. A disciplinary control led to a stampede at Nfor High School Tuesday, as thousands of students blocked outside the gate, trampled on other students as they forced their way into the school gate. The disciplinary master of the school says most of the students who took advantage of the stampede to vandalize school properties were to face the disciplinary council of the school that Tuesday.
Thanks for that report. We'll now take you over to the south region of the country, where a mother and her triplets have been abandoned in a local hospital, precisely in Kribi, and the father of the children is nowhere to be found, as you tell us, Veronica Aji.
Since their birth 2 weeks ago, the father of these 3 girls has not visited. The mother of the babies complains of poor feeding while breastfeeding. She says her husband has visited just once ever since she gave birth. Solambang Lucy was delivered through operation at the Ebome Hospital in Kribi. Medics say they followed the pregnancy from the moment they discovered the triplets right up to the 36th week when she gave birth. The new mother of 3 expresses mixed feelings over the grace and the hospital bills to pay. She calls on persons of goodwill to assist her as her husband suddenly disappeared.
On to something else now. The African regional head of the International Labour Organization has challenged members of the Association of Entrepreneurs of Cameroon, GCAM, not to just create employment, but also to respect their commitment towards their employees and also to respect the workers' rights. Arias Chuma Chapinga was speaking during a meeting with GCAM members and administrative authorities of the Little Region Wednesday. The African Regional Director of the ILO, the International Labour Organization, is today rounding off a 3-day visit to Cameroon, during which he met with government ministers and other employment stakeholders to get information on the challenges as concerns the labor market in Cameroon, and also to exchange ideas on the creation of job opportunities and sustaining the labor market. Let's now listen to the African Regional Director of the International Labour Organization. He was speaking to our reporter, Jacques Kwekinge.
So we've had discussions with the government and representatives of the labor movement, and our meeting as GCAM is the last of our consultations with the social partners. In our discussions, we focused on priorities of the government as well as the social partners, and areas, an indication of areas where the partners would like to see ILO strengthen its collaboration in this country. I think it's quite clear that one of the main priorities of all the partners is the question of creating employment opportunities, especially for young people. And so the ILO will continue to work with the government and the partners with respect to enterprise development, opportunities for employment for young people, skills development, and other initiatives to improve the employability of young people. And the second key priority is how to implement the social protection flows, which are designed to respond to the growing poverty and growing inequality in the country.
Another set of persons who have been enjoined to work together with the government are villagers of Meviomembenge. It is found in Fako division. The divisional officer for Limbe 1 called on them to stop petition writing and work together with the government for the betterment of their village. Epale Seraphine was speaking during the cultural week opened out there in Alimbe. Davidson, Maimote Sosmo.
This is Africa. It is Cameroon. And it is the land of Meviomembenge, a village within the Limbe 1 subdivision. In their numbers, about 5 SDOs, several DOs, including the SDO for Fako and the divisional officer for Limbe 1 subdivision, not leaving out other administrators, chiefs, and developmental partners. This village has once been extinct due to colonial infiltration into Africa and Cameroon in particular, as explained by the chief.
It is a village which had suffered rural exodus around the early 19th century due to developmental encroachment by the West African Plantations Victoria, now Cameroon Development Corporation CDC.
The annual general come-together is aimed at creating an awareness of the rehabilitation of this once extinct community and to uphold the culture and traditional values of the Meviomembenge man. Reasons why the presence of government officials is to assure the people of government commitment in supporting the people who are said to be living in the diaspora to come back to the ancestral land. The divisional officer for Limbe 1 subdivision, Epale Seraphine, in clear words, warned against any person or group of persons trying to bring confusion in splitting the village.
Mevio does not exist within Limbe 1 subdivision and will never exist.
Going by the administrative map, Meviomembenge is the very first village within Limbe and shares boundary with Tiko subdivision and Boya subdivision.
Thanks for that cultural page. And now sport. The sport complex built in Kribi during the period of independence has been abandoned and now in an advanced state of degradation. Sport lovers in that area complain of inadequate equipment and decry the poor sanitary conditions of the gymnasium. Veronica Aji tells us more.
Constructed at the time of independence, the gymnasium has not witnessed any rehabilitation works. The sanitary condition is not desirable. Players have to develop new ways to free themselves. Despite its degrading state, the gym is still a sports complex to many sport lovers in Kribi. During the dry season, games are played just like the volleyball competition. At the end of this encounter, Government Bilingual High School Kribi defeated Senages in the male category. It is said that sport equipment have always been neglected in the Ocean Division. Sport administrators in the area call on government authorities to ameliorate the sport complex.
Let's take you to news out of the country. The state prosecutor of Côte d'Ivoire has proposed a 10-year jail sentence for the former Ivorian First Lady, Simone Gbagbo. The sum of 3 billion euros has also been proposed as fine for damages during the 2010-2011 post-election violence. And of course, 82 other co-accused are equally pay the same sum of money. The details in the upcoming report. Championing public disorder, participation in actions that threaten the security of the country, and creation of armed groups. 3 count, good enough to put Simone Gbagbo, former Ivorian First Lady, 10 years behind bars. The state prosecutor of Côte d'Ivoire pronounced these words Tuesday, insisting that Simone Gbagbo had armed groups in Abobo, while serving as Member of Parliament. Armed groups, which the prosecutor confirmed, created terror in Abidjan during the election violence in 2010-2011. According to the state prosecutor, Simon Yabo Odi, the former First Lady cannot go unpunished because the armed groups perpetrated violence by erecting barricades, orchestrating strikes that led to destruction of properties, including public structures. 2 years imprisonment was equally proposed for Pascal Afingesa, president of Front Populaire Ivoirien, the FPI. If this sentence is retained, he will be a free man. After a close to 3 years pre-trial detention, he is aiming the presidential seat come October. 5 years imprisonment for son of former President Michel Gbagbo as accomplice. The lawyer representing the state, Barrister Songalo Coulibaly, is demanding a sum of 3 billion euros, close to 2,000 billion francs CFA, from Simon Gbagbo and 82 co-accused as damages and interest. With this new development, national reconciliation in Côte d'Ivoire could be far-fetched. The first part has ended. The second part will meet our guest, just in a jiffy. As our own way to honor the woman, we told this week is dedicated to women of Timba and Kaniba in Cameroon, as we shall be celebrating Women's Day on 8th of March 2015. And tonight we have a teacher, a lecturer, and a politician. She has been in the teaching profession for donkeys of years now, and equally in politics. She is the 4th Deputy Mayor of the Boya Council. She's right here with us from the Southwest region. Good evening, Dr. Ojong Port Comfort.
Good evening, Hansen. It's my pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to having you. You are a lecturer, a church elder, a deputy mayor, you are a politician. So many caps.
Oh, yes.
You must be an iron lady.
It is not by my might. That is what I say every day. It is not by my own power, but there is somebody behind all these caps on me. Now, putting on the caps.
Now tell us your success story. How did it begin? Tell us maybe how did you enter into the teaching profession? Because that's where you began before becoming a politician.
Yeah. I think if I want to cut a long story short, it all started when I left ENS, the prestigious Higher Teachers Training College in Cameroon, where I had longed to belong because the teaching profession is just my heart's desire. And thereafter, I taught in Mbam and Inubu division, where I was posted first as a teacher at CS de Bafia, Collège Enseignement Secondaire de Bafia. And after 1 year, I came to Boya to meet my darling husband. May his soul rest in peace. So I now got into the GSS at the time, Boya Rural, in Bokova, and I taught there for 13 years. I was there for 13 years, and while there, I had taken up a master's. I had taken up studies at the master's degree in the University of Boya in applied linguistics, and I finished it in record time. And after finishing, I was recommended for a PhD in applied linguistics. And I took it up in 2007. And just a few days ago, I think just precisely about 8 days ago or 9 days ago, I defended the PhD. And I have just had another feather on my cap, which is a PhD in applied linguistics.
We shall be talking about that because your PhD focuses on a preoccupying issue in Cameroon, the mother tongue. Yeah. We shall be talking about that later in this interview. Meantime, it's a rich curriculum vitae as far as your educational life is concerned now.
Indeed.
Blending education with politics. How did it
Christianity?
come about? Christianity?
With social life. With politics, I was born of a political stock. My father, may his soul rest in peace, was one time municipal administrator for Nfor Rural Council. And after that, he became CPDM section president for Grand Manu At the time, Manu was 1. Today we have Manu 1, Manu 2, Manu 3, which encompasses Akwaya, Eyumojog, and Upper Banyang, Manfe Central. But that man was head of the whole of that Manu, which was branded Manu, Grand Manu. So, born of such a political stalwart, I grew up in a political home, and my dream was that one day I must be like my father. And God answered my prayer. When I came to Boya in 2002, I was elected councillor for my own constituency. So I became councillor. In Boya.
That was when Mbela Mokichas took over the council
in 2002, when we took over from SDF. Yeah. So 2002 to 2007, I was councillor. 2007 to 2013, I was councillor. So you find me, this is my 3rd term as councillor. And the people of Boya gave me their mandate to become 4th deputy mayor of that council, the Boya Council.
An Iron Lady, and have you accomplished your mission? Can you say that today you can be proud that at least you have done something here on earth?
I think that
a doctor, a linguist.
Yeah, a doctor, a linguist who has touched at the very heart of a people. You know, my PhD is a very special PhD, which is a topical issue, which is talking about languages, indigenous languages that we have witnessed that they are dying. And so the Manu people, there is hope for them because I have touched their very essence.
For 7 years, you have been carrying out this research, and you came out with it. And the English and French has a great impact as far as the mother tongue is concerned in Cameroon. That's a preoccupation.
Definitely.
Now, how far do you think your thesis, or how far do you think your recommendations could go in, changing the situation in Cameroon?
Yeah, I think we are in a new era. Those recommendations are going to definitely change, because my own recommendations are not just the types that people just say, government should do this, government should do that, these people should do this, but I actually recommended, I put in place a practical model whereby I have done about 75% of the work for the powers that be, because I have this model that makes us, we are not saying that French and English should be thrown into the garbage. We are saying that the indigenous languages must work hand in hand. They must exist side by side, the French and English, which are the dominant languages.
Now let's come back. What is the place of the woman from where you come from? Maybe at the Boya Council. Do you really think that the women have an equal representation as far as the council is concerned? Are you giving their place?
Yeah, I think so. If they were not, I would not even be sitting here. But for me, sitting here already telling people that I am a deputy mayor, it shows that the women are making strides and they are being given the place that they deserve. It is just a matter of time. You know, when we turn back, most of the people always look back in anger. And when they saw the place of the woman, it was so deplorable. But today, we think that the woman has a say in so many things. Like in the council that I am, I see my men. I'm just the only woman at the executive bench, but the respect and they give me a listening ear, the men, and they know that when it is time to discuss issues, I am always there. They always ask my opinion to show that the woman is making strides. And again, if you look at, I have this experience because I have been in the council for, I think, for 13 years now, 12 or 11, 13 years.
13 years, exactly, yes. From 2002.
So I have followed the activities. I have followed the trend. In 2002, there were 41 councillors. We had just 6. In 2007, there were 41 councillors. We had just 6 women. 6 women.
As councillors.
As councillors. In 2007, there were 41 councillors. We had just 9 as councillors. And today, in 2013, there are 41, and we have 14 women.
Things are evolving.
It means that things are evolving. So we must hope, there is some hope that we are going to catch up with the aspirations of the woman.
They are telling us we have 1 or 2 more minutes. What are the obstacles that you must have gone through, or the women are still going through in Cameroon, and maybe you think that could be redressed?
There are many obstacles. We have these cultural beliefs. We have taboos, you know, for a woman to sit and be talking, even though these types of malpractices are dying down, but we still have some of them trickling in. You know, some people believe that if you are a woman doing politics, you are a prostitute. You know, you are moving with men, you are moving in the night, and they start branding you as a woman who doesn't stay at home. And of course, we have the aspect of time management. Is a big obstacle, especially for some of us who have so many caps. But again, what we do... You don't have
time for social life?
I do. I have. Like, I can tell you that in my social life, I'm president of groups. I am the board secretary of the P&T Credit Union in Boya. I am
so many caps.
So many caps.
Etc.
So, but we know how to manage our time because we believe in God and we ask God to empower us. We ask God to endow us. We ask God to give us what it takes to be able to do what we are doing.
Well, thanks, and more grease to your elbow, more feathers to your cap.
Thank you.
Dr. Ojong Comfort, a linguist, a lecturer in the University of Boya, fourth deputy mayor of the Boya Council, live on Equinox Television. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
For taking your time from the Southwest region.
Thank you, Hansen. It's worth the trouble.
And thanks for joining us, televiewers, in this edition of the Midweek Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. Good night.